All right, what is going on, everyone? Today we're talking about an Avian Knives Atlas. This is the Atlas 2.5. Now, I've done a video, this version 2.5. I did a video on the version 1, like maybe 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years. Yeah, it was in my old house, I think. So it was over a year. It was probably 2 years ago. I didn't go look. And Rit, the owner of Avian Knives, sent me this 2.5 to kind of talk about. It comes in a kind of a nice little drawer box. And it comes with, here is where to get a hold of him if you want. And I'll put a description down in a link down below. And then this is when this one was made. So this particular one is going to a customer here in the United States. Avian Knives is out of Thailand. These were designed in the United States and fully manufactured in Thailand. What's cool about it is a couple things. And I will link in the corner my video that I did my previous video. And maybe I'll put in the description a link to Jim Skelton, who did a couple of videos. He did a big torture test, throwing this out the back of his truck, throwing it off of the second floor balcony, things like that. He really beat one of these up because there are no screws. This is totally tool-less construction. And at the end, I'll take it apart, maybe, because there's not a ton of pieces, but it's a little bit. I haven't practiced. I've never taken this one apart yet. So I don't want to fumble and whatnot. It's cool. It's not my favorite. I'm not rushing out to buy one. Mostly reverse flicker for me. The flipper tab is not the most comfortable for me, and it's very lock bar pressure sensitive. So if you pick it up and your middle finger is on that lock bar, it's not going to open. So for me, I have to really be careful and really think about my finger placement on the lock side. And even then, the flipper tab itself is just small, tiny, and it digs into my finger. Like, it's just not that comfortable for me. Your mileage may vary. All right. So what do we got here? We got 4 3/8 closed, 7.5 inches overall, 3.13 inch blade with a 2.97 cutting edge, 0.013 behind the edge, 0.128 overall blade thickness, RWL 34, weighs in at 2.8 ounces with an overall thickness of 0.474 minus the clip. Runs on skiff bearings. And they also give you in the box shims. There's 4 shims. And those can be placed behind the bearings between the titanium scale and then the bearing to tighten it up in 2 different variations, right? Either 1 shim behind the bearing or 2 shims behind the bearing, so that you, as the owner, can dial in the action. That's pretty cool that they include that. The toolless construction, because there is no pivot to tighten or loosen, right? So you can't adjust it any other way without bringing the bearings closer and tighter onto the blade, right? So it gives it, if I move my finger out of the way so I don't slam my finger with the blade, that would be helpful. Damn, that hurt. So I think it's a cool idea to include shims so that you can adjust it. Because it's toolless, it also always centers the blade when you put it back together. Some of the differences between the version 1 and the version 2.5 is this Arcomics finish. And let's just zoom in and give you a closer look. The Arcomix finish is, so this is titanium grade 5 knife, scales, everything, with the RWL 34 blade. And this finish is harder than, it's got a whole Vickers scale. He sent me a whole PowerPoint on the knife with a bunch of crazy scientific details and all like stuff. But what it basically told me, I don't remember the Vickers numbers. You've got the sapphire crystal of a watch. Then you have a tungsten industrial drill bit. And then way above that, you have this Arcomix finish. So this should not scratch. It should look new for a very long time. And it has some coefficient of friction things, so the bearings work really well, and it feels really good in the hand. They also changed the angle of the edge from 24 to 30 or 30 to 24 degrees. So it's actually a slicier. And then they've got the Avian Disassembly technology, the exclusive ADT, which is that toolless, completely toolless disassembly. Also, this Arcomix finish is exclusive and proprietary to Avian Knives. All in all, it's a cool knife. If you're into the smaller blades at 3.1, it is a cool knife. There is ever so slight blade play on this one. But I don't think that's a problem. Like, I literally don't think that's a problem. The lockup is solid. It's not going to fail. It's built really well. Let's go ahead and take it apart. So they actually have a record, and I'm not going to even try to attempt that. 52 seconds from complete to pieces to back to complete. It'll probably take me longer than that to get it taken apart. I don't know. So there is a little lever here in the tail section part that you have to kind of dig your nail in and flip up. And what that does is it releases the pocket clip pin, if you will, which does come out for cleaning and whatnot. I don't remember how many parts and pieces there are. You've got this piece here that lifts up, but I think is still attached, which then allows you to pull one of these back in. Do you have to open this first? I don't remember. There's a trick to all of this. See, that's why I'm not going to break any speed records here. So one of these will pull out, and then it releases the pivot. But I don't remember what the trick is. There you go. So this one pulls back, and now the pivot is released. I'm never going to get this thing back together. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now. And then once the pivot comes out, you're apart. Now, one of the things that they also changed from previous is the stop pin is now machined in part, as well as this pin and this pin back here. Before, those three used to come out as well when you took it all apart. Okay, so you can see the bearings in here. These are skiff bearings. And then they've got washers here also that come out, and they're labeled, and I don't remember the significance of the labeling. So this D is for the display side, and then this other one is going to say L for lock side. And then there's a way you can twist them around because it's L minus. I don't know if you can see that. It says L minus. On the other side, it says L plus. And again, I think that has to do with the tension between. So you use those all in conjunction with the shims. The bottom line. Okay, so let's do this and let's see if I can get it back together. I've got it taken apart kind of the wrong way because, well, that's how I roll. So I've got to try to get this back in here. and lined up so that I can shove the pivot back in. I've kind of stopped doing disassembly videos in general lately just because of these types of things. That's not really my forte. Okay, so you got to line it up, push it through. That actually was much easier and quicker than I thought it was going to be. And then you got this one here. You're going to shove right back in. I don't know why it was so hard to get out in the first place. Okay. So now it's basically back together. Oh, this has to go through. That's a pin. Damn it. Got to take this off again. This one is a little tight to get in and out. That's the problem. Now, Rit's going to probably watch this and be like, dude, if you did this, it would have made it easier. Which is fine. I'm whatever. So I got to take this one out so that I can get that other piece back in. So I think what I'm going to do, though, is do it this way. Take the lock bar off, which I think will make it easier to get this guy in over that pin. And then just shove this over the lock bar again. Line things up. Push the pivot back in. Push this down. Oh, I got to put this up so that I can put this other pin back in. This other lock tab thing. So obviously I am not Speed Racer at 52 seconds. I don't think they have a prize for that or anything, but they have documented 52 seconds is the quickest at this point. So I got to get that all the way in. So you got to get that all the way in so that this piece here can lock down over. And now it is basically back together, minus the pocket clip. So the pocket clip is keyed, and you have to line this up in such a way, because it's oblonged, to go through the hole on the little locking tab. So this part is a little funky because you got to slide that in there in such the orientation that this pin can go through it. So that's why I am never going to win this challenge, because I always have trouble right here aligning that pin to go through the lever, if that makes sense. So, but hey, if you guys have made it this far and you're sticking with me through this assembly, you guys are rock stars. I'm going to try to take the pin all the way out so they can try to see how to align it. Because, yeah, this is not riveting TV, I know. So, yeah, this is the part I don't know that there is an easier way or a better way. But this is the part that kind of sucks for me to get it all finally back and locked in place. This is the part I have trouble with. But if I can maybe rotate this... Now that I'm looking down the hole that you probably can't tell. There we go. I think I got it. Maybe. There you go. And now I can put you down. And we are back centered because it can only center itself. And away you go. Now these run about $750 new from the maker. At the time of filming, these are not available yet, the version 2.5s. But this one is going to a customer here for one reason or another, who is special in the United States. And I got to check it out. And once this video goes live, I believe they'll be available. They asked me to film it and hold the video and not release it until they were ready to drop these officially. So, let me give you a couple of just quick size comparisons if you've made it this far. The Sharpie and the Spyderco Delica. We're just going to be really quick because I know nobody's probably still here after the disassembly that took absolutely longer than 52 seconds. So Rit, thank you very much for letting me check this out. He has been on the EDC Hour with Alex and I before. It was the one time we did it on a Saturday night because of the time difference between here and Bangkok, Thailand. I think it's in Bangkok. So thanks for watching. Go check out the original video I did over here. I don't think I have a playlist, but go check it out over there and have yourselves a fantastic day.